Today we're going to be showing the TotalCAE Viz server. The TotalViz is a simple to use remote desktop that lets you load up your graphical applications right next to the data, whether that's on a cloud system or a local cluster. So the advantage of using this is that if you're on a slow connection like exists on many cloud systems, you may not want to bring back all the results after you run the simulation. Maybe you just want to view it, see if you want to bring it back. Maybe you want to do the pre and post remotely. Some cases like maybe Star CCM Plus, you want to just maybe change the mesh and resubmit it without necessarily downloading gigabytes of data to do a couple operations and re-upload it. So when you log into our Viz server, it looks and feels like a normal Linux desktop. You have a web browser you can bring up to access like our portal, or you can have a list of applications that you want to run in the menu system here. So for example, I could bring up LS Prepost. This is the post processor for LS Dyna. And I could, open, files, and those files exist right here on the cluster that's in the cloud in this case. The Viz server is located right next to that data, so it's pretty fast. I can load up all of this in just a few seconds, and I can play it, play the animation, and do whatever I need to do, all remotely. So this is running in a data center, somewhere out on the East Coast, and I'm sitting here located in Michigan, and you can see it's pretty snappy. I can interact with it. It feels just like a real desktop. I could do things with other applications. So for example, similarly, we have ParaView. I have Star CCM Plus here, but any graphical application needing OpenGL that needs access to high-end NVIDIA graphics, you can basically load up and launch right here on this Viz server and interact with your data real close to where the data is. Now, Viz servers don't typically replace your workstation, so there is still a little bit of latency if you're doing fine meshing or kind of CAD work, that type of thing. You'll still use your workstation for this, but the Viz server gives you another tool in your toolbox, especially now during COVID where many people are having to work remote. This allows you to get access to your data in yet another way to avoid having to bring data over a VPN connection or having to download it just to do simple post-processing. If you're interested in learning more about remote visualization, go to this URL above to register for our free white paper where we survey the landscape of remote viz technologies, talk a little bit about how companies are using remote viz, and how our solution works in more detail. Or you can email us at info@totalcae.com and we'll help you learn if remote viz works for you or solves the problems that you're looking to solve.